Welcome back to the deep dive. We're constantly told this story, this myth, that to really transform your life, you need some massive, unsustainable effort. Right, like an 18-hour-a-day hustle. Exactly, or you're just waiting for some kind of miracle. But we've been poring over the source material this week, and the biggest takeaway is, well, the architecture for real success is much simpler.
It's quieter, and it's astonishingly precise.
That precision is the key word.
It is. We are diving into the idea of investing just one single hour a day,
Yeah.
60 focused minutes. The research points to this really painful distinction.
Which is,
Society is full of people who are incredibly busy, but very, very few are actually growing. They're just stuck in a loop reacting to things because they never stop to actually think and design.
okay, so let's unpack that. Our mission for you in this deep dive is to distill that practical framework for maximizing that single hour.
Moving from just being busy to actually demonstrably growing.
Yes. We're going to show you that success isn't an accident. It's a daily decision built on this one idea, 1 hour of intention, 1 hour of discipline, and how that can transform, well, everything, your income, your relationships, your legacy. So where do we start? The journey really begins at the very start of your day.
It has to.
The core strategy for winning your life is to first win the morning. That means claiming that first hour, the ritual.
And what stood out in the documents is that this is non-negotiable. How you start your day literally sets the operational mode for everything that follows.
It's not just routine, it's your launch pad, your foundation.
And what's so fascinating is the cognitive danger of giving that hour away. Most people, their first instinct is what?
Reach for the phone.
Every time. Checking emails, scrolling news, reacting to whatever crisis pops up overnight.
So the world is essentially programming your mind with distraction and drama before you've even had a chance to ask yourself a simple question.
What do I want to accomplish today?
Right, and if you don't intentionally preload your own mind in that critical window, you're immediately in reactive mode
You spend the rest of the day just fighting fires.
and responding to other people's priorities, not designing your own future. You become a participant in the chaos instead of the architect of your day.
To fight this, the research lays out these very specific, high-leverage actions for that first hour. And this is key. All of it happens before the digital noise starts.
It starts with getting up earlier, but not just to be trendy, it's for transformation.
It's about claiming that psychological edge. The actual prescription combines both physical and mental priming.
Like reading just 10 pages of a good book. Not a novel, but something that forces you to grow.
And 10 pages is so manageable, it's not overwhelming, and it guarantees the first input your brain gets is about growth, not gossip.
Then there's the act of writing down 3 things you're grateful for. And this isn't, some touchy-feely thing.
Not at all. The science on this is clear. Gratitude literally shifts your brain chemistry from a state of scarcity and stress to one of abundance and opportunity.
Then you move into planning, visualizing your goals, and then the physical side.
Absolutely. Hydrate, move your body, even just a simple walk or a few stretches. The goal is to elevate your energy before you need it.
And it all comes down to building a habit. Discipline doesn't care how you feel or if you're a morning person.
No, it just requires you to build the habit, win that first hour, you win the day, you win enough days, you eventually win your life.
That first move is so powerful, it creates the pattern. But once you've claimed the hour, the second challenge begins, and it's maybe even harder.
Defense.
You have to guard that hour like treasure. The source material is so clear on this. Time is more dangerous to lose than money.
You can always earn more money. You can never, ever get that hour back.
So who are the thieves?
Well, they don't show up in masks. They show up as notifications on your phone.
Or as favors? The classic, hey, can I just have 5 minutes of your time?
Right. The research calls this trading gold for crumbs. You are giving away your best, most focused cognitive energy.
To solve someone else's problem.
Exactly. Someone else's low-leverage, immediate need.
So this hour has to be sacred. It can't be for the leftovers of your energy.
The analysis calls it putting up a digital and physical fence.
What does that mean in practice?
No calls, no emails, no scrolling the news. Not because you're rude, but because you are making a strategic investment in your own future.
But, the reality for a lot of people is that the world does need them. High-pressure jobs, clients, colleagues.
Of course, so you have to be proactive. Schedule the hour every single night. Put it in your calendar.
So it's set in stone.
Right. Label it deep work block or focus and strategy, and then you communicate that to the people who need you.
You're setting the expectation of unavailability.
The rule is simple, and it has to be uncompromising. If it doesn't actively grow you, it doesn't get your hour. This is what separates the average from the excellent. You defend your future from the tyranny of the urgent.
Okay, so guarding the time is half the battle. But this leads to what the sources call a major failure point.
Action without direction.
We see it all the time. People are incredibly active, they're busy, they're doing things, but they're not going anywhere.
They're running on a treadmill, they're sweating, they feel productive, but at the end of the day, they're in the exact same spot.
And that is a recipe for burnout.
And frustration. This is where the analysis gets really profound. Success needs two things: direction, which is your compass, and action, which is your engine.
If you skip the direction part,
You end up confusing movement with meaning. The sources say direction matters more than speed. A person with clear direction who walks slowly will always get further than someone running in circles.
so we need absolute clarity. The material suggests a simple way to get it
A 3-minute clarity check.
at the start of every single one of these hours.
Right. It's a focused interrogation of yourself. You ask 3 questions. First, what is my single measurable goal for this hour?
Second, what high leverage skill am I building or using right now?
And third, and this is the most important, why does this activity deeply matter to my long-term vision?
And the crucial part is you have to write the answers down.
It has to be tactile. Clarity on paper becomes focus in your mind. It externalizes the goal. It makes it real.
You're defining your why before you invest your how.
Exactly. You turn the next 57 minutes into a precise mission, not just a vague hope.
Once that direction is locked in, the hour becomes this powerful tool for what the sources call a dual investment.
Learning and practice.
This is the core of the whole growth architecture. Success doesn't just come from doing things, it comes from learning what things to do.
There's a great quote we pulled directly from the material.
I know the one. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune.
That's it. You don't need to go back to school. You just need one focused hour a day to feed your mind with high-value knowledge.
And if we look at the pure return on investment here, the numbers are they're staggering.
They are. 1 hour a day is 365 hours a year.
That's the equivalent of more than 9 full-time work weeks.
9 weeks, 2.5 months invested just in optimizing your own mind. That stacks wisdom, it improves how you communicate, it increases your value in the marketplace.
So what should you be learning?
The sources say to focus on high-impact areas. Biographies of great leaders, communication mastery, financial literacy, mindset training. But here's the key analytical point.
It can't be passive.
That cannot be passive consumption. You have to be intentional. That means you prepare your materials before the hour starts.
Stack the book you're going to read, queue up the podcast, download the module.
So when the clock starts, you just dive in. No wasted energy deciding what to do.
And that leads right into the second part of the investment.
Practice.
Because learning without doing is just entertainment.
That's the line. You can read every book on a topic, but if you never apply it, you're just a collector of information, not a builder of skill.
Yeah.
1 hour of focused practice beats 10 hours of theory. Every time.
I love this part because it gets at the root of confidence. Confidence doesn't just appear.
No, it is a result of action. It comes from action.
So your hour has to be hands-on. If you're learning to write, you write. If you're learning to code, you code.
If you're building a business, you build the plan or you make the pitch. The goal is just repetition.
The mother of all skill.
Exactly. Not perfection. Just show up, do the work, and embrace the process of getting better.
So once that focused hour of learning or practice is done, you're not finished.
The job isn't over.
The research is adamant that a life improves not just by moving forward, but by, and I'm quoting here, stopping and looking back with purpose.
A life worth living is a life worth recording.
Beautifully put.
This requires a mandatory 5-minute debrief right at the end of the hour before you get pulled back into the chaos.
And there are 4 specific questions you have to ask yourself to create that feedback loop.
Right. 1. What single thing did you learn today? 2. What did you actually accomplish?
Right.
3. Where did you struggle? Be honest.
And 4, what one specific thing will you do better tomorrow?
This step is the growth accelerator. It forces you to see your own patterns. It prevents you from confusing activity with actual progress.
It makes your habits conscious instead of unconscious.
And once you've reflected, you refine. You tweak the process, you tighten the focus, remove a step, add a resource.
Excellence is just a series of small, intelligent corrections made over time.
There's a great analogy in the source material about airplanes. An airplane is technically off course 90% of the time,
But it's constantly making these tiny adjustments, these immediate corrections.
and it still lands exactly on target. That's what this process is. Reflect, refine, repeat. You will grow exponentially faster.
Okay, let's talk about the big payoff. Where do you actually invest this hour for the most leverage?
The sources consistently point to three core domains, the pillars of a truly rich life.
Health, wealth, and relationships.
You have to allocate your time across all three, and you have to start with health.
Because it's the engine.
It's the engine of your entire life. The sources say neglect of the body is quiet, but the costs are catastrophic. You can't make great decisions or be creative if you have no energy.
There's a line in there that says, discipline weighs ounces, but regret weighs tons.
That's so true. So investing 60 focused minutes to honor your health is non-negotiable.
And that can be anything. A focused walk, lifting weights, yoga, just getting outside in the sun.
Whatever elevates your energy, you have to treat your physical well-being as the fuel for everything else you want to achieve.
Okay, next up is wealth, the quiet hour.
I love this one. The insight here is that wages make you a living, but profits and high-value skills make you a fortune.
And most people, when they get home from their job, they just mentally shut down.
But that quiet hour, maybe right before bed or early in the morning, that's your chance to build economic freedom.
We're talking 260 hours a year if you do it 5 days a month. It has to be directed at high-leverage financial activities.
Learning to invest, building a side business, mastering a certification. You don't build wealth with wishes. You build it with focused, quiet work when no one else is watching.
And finally, relationships.
Because success without connection is just empty. A rich life is measured by the people you share it with.
And this requires 1 hour of full presence.
That's the key. Not just being in the same room. It means the phone is away, all distractions are gone.
And you're dedicating 60 minutes to deep, intentional conversation, actually listening to your spouse or your child or a mentor.
Presence is the ultimate gift. It's how trust is built, how love compounds. When life gets hard, it's those relationships that will hold you up, not your bank account.
So let's bring this all home. What does this mean for you listening right now? It's about the cumulative effect.
Back your hours. Stack your future.
It's so easy to dismiss 1 hour a day as just an hour, but we've already done the math.
We are talking about over 300 hours a year of strategic growth. That's more than 7 full-time work weeks. Imagine what you could master with that kind of focused time.
And these small disciplines, they don't stay small, they expand. Every time you show up for that hour, you're casting a vote for the person you want to become.
You're changing your identity from someone who waits for things to happen to someone who builds them.
The transformation isn't some overnight miracle.
It's built one consistent hour at a time. Controlling that 1 hour proves to yourself that discipline is a lifestyle, not just a temporary burst of motivation.
At the end of the day, success isn't luck or magic. It's just discipline applied daily to the right things.
That's it.
So the question for you is, what specific hour will you take back and what will you begin to build with it? We'll leave you with a final thought to chew on. Change doesn't happen when you know what you should do. Change only happens when you finally do what you already know. If you give 1 hour a day to your growth, your purpose, your vision, 1 year from now, you will be living a life you once only imagined. Start today, not tomorrow.